so when I found Steven, I found this just indelible, sweet, awkward character from Northeast London. I fell in love with him. And then it was about really not just making DID, dissociative identity disorder, part of his backstory or part of a plot point, but everything is oriented around his struggle with this disorder. And really at the heart of that is trauma and abuse and what the brain, the body will do in order to survive that kind of sustained abuse. And it's kind of its own superpower that the mind can fracture and create personalities or alters that can shoulder that trauma, that abuse, or create a personality that knows nothing of it in order to survive. And that's actually such a beautiful thing. We talked with a lot of mental health professionals. I read this incredible book called A Fractured Mind by Robert Oxman.
Oh, yeah.
That became kind of like my Bible, because he talks about his whole journey through dissociative disorder. And what's amazing is the language that's used is like dream language. It's fantastical language. And so in a way, it was a perfect way to talk about these really weird internal psychological things with Egyptian iconography and that superhero language. So I knew this guy fights a lot when I first signed on. And apparently part of what makes him so dangerous to fight is that it's just unpredictable. You know, he's an ex-boxer, but he also has these other personalities that maybe don't know how to fight. So there's just something wild about the way that he operates. So even before I'd really gotten a handle on the scripts or talked to any stunt guys, I got some friends together and we went to a parkour gym called the Brooklyn Zoo in Brooklyn, and just started playing around and doing some jujitsu and some weapon work and just kind of getting comfortable with all that stuff. I
hope the answer to this one is yes, but did you reach out to any current Marvel stars for advice on joining the MCU?
Nope. I did talk to Robert Downey quite a bit. I talked to
him.
Yeah, I talked to him a lot. I mean, he's a friend already, and so just talking to him about it and just what his sense of it is and how his process has been. And he was such a great person to talk to, obviously, about the whole thing. And also for me, the biggest inspiration, because to this day still, that first Iron Man movie is just, it's just so
good. What was his number one tip for you?
I think the thing is, he really said that, Kevin Feige, he's a genius and he's a collaborator. And so don't be afraid to come in and give your ideas and give your thoughts and to be bold with your choices.
Which is what you did with the accent, right? You kind of presented this accent. And what was the inspiration for that?
Some in the suit.
Some in the suit? What are you saying?
The suit.
The suit.
And keep this safe.
The real clear inspiration was that it was set in London, right? Even though the character hadn't been written as English, but I thought, well, if it's set in London, there's an opportunity there, and that would be really fun. And then I thought of the kind of sense of humor or sensibility that I wanted to bring to it. He's so funny to me because you can't ever tell if he knows he's being funny,
Oh,
it's very dry,
Yeah.
And so I like, and he's also a little bit introverted and a little awkward, and so I like that part of it. But I also thought about, the Jewish population in London and that kind of northeast, Enfield is a suburb of London that I listen to accents from that area as well. It's definitely in the MCU universe, but there's, again, taking inspiration from that first Iron Man, it was just an opportunity to kind of create it from the ground up. This character that in a way, sometimes it's hard to know if is this really happening or is this in his head.
Right.
And I think that was the joy of it, playing with that idea. It's almost kind of Lynchian in that way.
Yeah. So we shouldn't count on maybe like a Doctor Strange or a Hulk cameo of any sort. Wink one.
Don't count on that.
Going head to head with Ethan, what was that like? Did you guys form a bromance?
I mean, it was just, we became like one and the same on this thing. It was everything I hoped it was going to be, because I've been aware of him for such a long time, and I sought him out. We're so synchronized. He's such a creative force. He's a director, he's a writer, he's a stage actor. He has young kids like I do, and it just, everything about it was exactly the kind of person that I needed in the trenches with me, trying to create this wild story.
Thank you for watching.